Hey y'all, for our mandolin music theory lesson for the week, we are going to talk, let me see, let me check my notes, it's the Locrian mode. Yes, the Locrian. We have been working through our modes, and remember, they're just alterations of the major scale. Last week we did the Phrygian, starting on the third note of the scale and ending on the third note. The Locrian is just starting on the seventh note of the scale and ending on the seventh note. So again, if we count off our C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then C if you want to finish it. All right, there's your standard scale. What's the seventh note? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's B, B natural. So now we're going to start it on the note of B natural. Let's see, we can start from the lower position. Doesn't that sound different? See how different that sounds from? We're going. It just leaves you hanging, right? It's just, that's the whole point of the Locrian scale. You're just kind of left hanging there. You're waiting for that note to resolve. And really good one to play over major 7 chords, because you're playing that natural, that B natural, as opposed to B flat in a dominant 7 chords. So, I'm playing over a C chord, and instead of doing something scale-wise, that sounds a little cliche, right? So I'm going to go, let's see if I can play basically the same notes, but starting one note lower. Oh, yeah, now that sounds interesting, right? That's your Locrian mode. That's it. In every key, it's just starting on the 7th note. So we move from C up to D, we're starting from a C sharp. If we move from C down to B, okay, I'm a little dyslexic. I have trouble reversing things sometimes. If we move C down to B, we're starting on an A sharp. That's it. That's the Locrian mode. And remember, it's not even that important where you start as where you finish. If I could be playing all over this scale, let's say I want to start here on the 3rd. I stopped on the B, and it just left you hanging, right? It doesn't matter. I started on the D or the E. Yeah. I'll start on the F this time. Weird, huh? But somehow it works. I don't know. That's your Locrian mode. It takes you about 2 minutes to learn to play in every key, and it just gives you one more option for soloing over specifically a C chord that has the B natural in it. So like a major 7, a major 9, a major 6, as opposed to a dominant where you're flatting that one. And remember, all this information is available in my book, Mandolin Mysteries Solved. And my goal, as always, is to make playing music as easy as possible. We get through really complex topics in super easy to understand ways, like I just did. That took you, we're at 3 minutes 53 seconds, so you learn to play the Locrian mode in 3 minutes and 53 seconds instead of 3 years in a university. And you can do it now. You don't even have to think about it, right? You just play that through a few times, you got it. That's the way the whole book's laid out, because music is best when improvised, played by the ear and by the heart. Not by rote memory. That's the main thing my book tries to get you away from, is tablature and rote memory. I want you to be able to solo and improvise in any key, and any idea that enters into your head, you play it immediately on the mandolin or other instrument. You can absolutely apply the book to other instruments, but this becomes your second voice. So I can say do, re, mi, or I can play do, re, mi on here, no problem, right? So anyway, y'all, have a great week. We'll talk to you next time. Remember, email me, Judson@judsoncarroll.com if you got any questions or comments, or leave a question or comment in the question and comment section after the video. And like and subscribe and share with your friends and family. And let's see if we can get a lot more people playing a lot more creative music on the mandolin. Not just going through the same memorized solos over and over and over. That's not what playing music's all about. I mean, yeah, you got to pretty much stick to the script if you play classical music. But there's a reason for that. Classical music is very beautiful and a very high level of composition, and really the composer, the musician is trying to get up to the skill level that the composer demanded or expected. Not a lot of improvisation. Now, sometimes there is. Sometimes it's very good. Everything else, blues, jazz, country, bluegrass, rock and roll, funk music, reggae, I don't care what you want to play. It should be improvised if you want it to be interesting. And if you want to put your own personality in it, there's really nothing worse than... okay, I will clarify this. I will say sometimes it's very fun to go see a cover band. And you know every song, and they play everything note for note the way the band did on the album. And that's great, because, you know, you're reminiscing and you're having a good time. You know, dancing, having a few beers, having a good time. That's great. There is always a place for cover bands. There is always a place for bands to play their hit song the way it was on the record, because that's what their fans expect. But when it comes to a musician's perspective, and it comes to like really expressing yourself and really having fun playing music at the highest level, throw it all out. You want to be able to just play whatever comes into your head. And you don't want to be at the point where, okay, you hit the wrong note, you made a mistake, you freeze. That's horrible. No, you always want, and that's why I'm so stringent on this, trying to get this through your head. The next note is what matters. And when we play these modes and such, we learn to anticipate different modes. I mean, different notes. We hear different colors in the music, and that's how you can just. I mean, you know, gosh, how many times did I see Jerry Garcia on the stage, just improvising solo after solo, just, you know, having the time of his life playing music. Dave Grisman doing the same thing, usually right beside him. The two of them listening to each other and coming up with ideas, and oh, brilliant! Just absolutely some of the best times of my life were seeing those two guys play music together, or individually, or with other people. And same true of so many, like, you know, Sam Bush and Chris Thile, and some of the great mandolin players that I got, Jim and Jesse. You know, I mean, from the older guys to the younger ones. But I'm telling you, any genre of music can be so much fun and so creative if you just get the basics down enough to where you can sit them down and don't think about them, and just play what pops into your head. And you're going to come up with all kinds of new stuff. I mean, you think about like when, okay, so Bob Dylan recorded All on the Watchtower as a very interesting, like, I mean, it was a folky tune, folk rock, I guess. I mean, and kind of menacing and mysterious and interesting, melancholy, very different from how Jimi Hendrix played All on the Watchtower. Now, Hendrix took Dylan's tune, and he kept the lyrics, he kept the chord changes, he kept everything, but he played it in a completely different way. You could hear the storms, you could hear the lightning, you could hear everything in his guitar playing, you could hear the intensity building through one tune, played by two different people. One who wrote it, one who just heard it and thought, this is pretty cool, I'm going to come up with my own way of doing it. And both, well, I mean, probably most people would say Hendrix was better. I mean, I'd say they both stand on their own, but most people probably prefer Hendrix version. You could do that with anything. I mean, speak of Chris Thile, I've seen him do that with Bach and Mozart. I mean, I've been sitting right there where he's playing around with some like Bach fugue or something, and next thing you know, he's jazzing it up or turning it into a bluegrass tune. And I mean, he was doing that when he was like 14. I mean, it wasn't fair. It was not fair at all. You know, I'd be sitting like right in the chair beside him or on you know, the edge of the stage, and here I am like, you know, 18, 19, 20, and here's this like, you know, 13, 14-year-old kid doing this stuff, and you're just like... But see, he had all that technical knowledge down. So that's why I try to make these modes so easy and quickly learned. So you can say, okay, boom, got it, filed away, and next time you hit that B note instead of going to the C, maybe it's an accent, or maybe you did it on purpose, you know exactly what to do next. And you're free. You can play whatever you want. There are no mistakes. There's no wrong notes. So anyway, y'all, have a great week, and I will talk to you next time.